and converted everything into a circumstance where he has control over those circumstances. Right. So congratulations, BNI member. Let me say thank you to all the members here in the room and not in the room. Members across the whole country and the whole world have done a total business of $18 billion of business in the last 12 months. Right? How many of you believe that is brilliant? Right? If you think it's brilliant, it's awesome. Just put in the chat box, awesome, brilliant. Right? You can do that. If you think that was a real good amount of business that BNI members have done in the last 12 months. And yes, in the last month of May alone, we have done a business of $1.3 billion of business. So thank you to all the BNI members. And yes, in the chat box, you can just put in the amount of business you have generated in the last 12 months. If you think that's fine, you can just put in maybe 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 50 lakhs, what amount of business you have done. When the whole world is thinking about from where we are going to get business, I know as BNI members, we are helping each other to generate more business. Thank you. Someone has already put 7 CR. That's brilliant. Thank you so much. I want to see your numbers, all of your numbers, please, in the chat box. And don't worry, we're not going to share with anybody else. This is not getting shared with anybody else. Right. Brilliant. Thank you. 2 CR. Thank you. Thank you. Brilliant. Right. Okay. So let's just take a start and let me tell you a good story today. So as of now, BNI has crossed 40,000 members. Can we have clap for all the BNI members? And we have crossed an amazing benchmark of 40,000 member mark, right? And these are some statistics. I don't want to read it and bore you with just reading it, but today is an amazing day. We have crossed 30,000 or 40,000 members. How many of you believe that's brilliant? Just put clap in the chat box, right? It's a huge achievement for all of us. Brilliant. And yes, a little statistics about our Chennai South and Chennai CBDB. We are 22 chapters with 985 members, 2,206 crores of business done between the members, and average seat value is 25 lakhs and average value per referral is 14,254. Right. Brilliant. And yes, Chennai Cares, an initiative of Chennai CBDB and Chennai South. Yes, you can note down the number and keep it. If any one of you need any help, support, please, you can click on those numbers and take it forward from there. Right. Yes, and we have some volunteers in this room and not in this room. So can we just have a clap for all the people who have actually been helping and supporting across all the members and their family members in these tough times? Can you just put clap for all the volunteers here in the room? Thank you so much. Right. And yes, Ajit, can you just put the link in the chat box, the Razorpay link? And if anybody wants to contribute for this Chennai one, in fact, in the last 1 week, we have there was a lady. She's 46 years of age, and she was the only breadwinner for the whole family. And she was going through tough times, and she needed to be operated immediately. From Chennai one, we have got this done, and today she's back, and the family is able to survive. So if you know of someone who needs help, please let us know about it. And also, in case you want to contribute, please contribute. And I like to thank some of the contributors, Dinesh Sethi and some of you who have been contributing. So thank you so much to all the contributors to Chennai One Trust. The link is there in the chat box. If somebody wants to contribute, please do that, right? And yes, thank you so much, Hari from Infinity Chapter, who is the manufacturer of this particular product, Sterile G, the disinfectants. And many of us must have used this product in hospitals, in department stores, and various offices that he's supplying to, right? So he's a sponsor. And again, all the money from this particular contribution is again going to Chennai One. So thank you, Hari from Infinity Chapter, for his contribution. And yes, he's looking to get connected to Wipro, KPMG, and Deloitte. If any one of you can connect to any of these companies or similar kind of companies, please, you can connect me or Ajit, and we will take it forward from there. Right. So thank you so much. And yes, let's move forward with the hero of the day today. How many of you are ready to listen Sohail? Right. You need to put ready in the chat box, and then only I'm going to start today. And yes, I believe a lot of many more members could be part of this particular room today. So some of you can take the screenshot and forward to your chapter groups. And Ajit, can you forward again once more to leadership teams to asking them to forward to the chapters, and all of them can be here in the room. Right. Thank you, Ajit. Right. Good. So let me begin by talking about Sohail Karim Boy. Right. So Sohail Karim Boy, first and foremost, I'm not going to go through the bio fully, but yes, an amazing human being. For me, I share my relationship with Sohail Karim Boy right from 2013 and 14. So I know this person, and a gentle giant. I would say it this way, gentle giant. Right. Yes, he was born in Mumbai. I like this line when he put it there: bread and buttered in Chennai, right? So he's gone through his good times and not so good times in Chennai, and yes, he has emerged really strong from all of this. Did his BCom and from New College. Some of you must have heard of this New College, one of the most notorious college, right? If you don't know, but how this simple guy went and landed in New College is something which I want to hear from. Yes, he's traveled to 30 plus countries and worked professionally with different nationalities people, and yes, he was earlier in recruitment business, and then because of his love for travel, right, his love for travel, he took to traveling as a business, right? And one of the few things he always loves doing is pulling his friends and having some fun with them. And I'm sure I've seen him play pranks with me also sometimes, and so I know he's a fun loving guy, right? He loves playing snooker at night, posing and pouting for camera even in sleep, right? I can see that. And even when he's talking to you, you can find that he's always ready for a click. And yes, staying fit with your daily walks, yoga and gym. And fortunately I've always seen Sohail as a very disciplined person. So if he takes up something, he definitely takes it up and does complete justice to it. And yes, he likes to, like all of us, I believe, like he has put it, I love good food, great music and travel. I do that. So how many of you love good food, great music and traveling? Put me in the chat box. If you love great food, music and travel, please put me in the chat box. Maybe next time when me and Sohail are planning from some trip together, all of us can just go along. Right. Yes, happily single. I like that. And he's father of Ayan, age 21 years, and Ira, age 12 years. And very importantly, BNI is now a way of life for him. BNI is an amazing. And I've seen Sohail breathe BNI and drink BNI, eat BNI, and sleep BNI many a times, right? And yes, let's come to the statistics and amazing stats you have, right? So he's senior in terms of my membership or membership in BNI to me, right? He is his date of induction is June 2012. Revenue received, business received till date is 19.92 crores, just 8 lakhs short of the 20 crore mark, right? And that's the amount of business he has received. And referrals received is 1,888. Thank you for closed business given, and whooping 15.12 crores of business. Amazing, right? Can we do a clap for the amount of business he's given? Referrals given 530. So you can understand the quality of referrals that he is giving, right? Now, it is not just the number of referrals, it's the quality of referrals. 530 referrals generating 15 crores of business. Trainings attended 85, including the one he just landed here from training. He was in a training before this and he just landed here straight from the training. So thank you, Sohail, for flying here to this particular session. And visitors invited 185, member sponsored 6, leadership roles taken in the chapter. I know that when the first time he became the vice president, I was a support director of the chapter at that point of time. And from then on, we have become real good and great friends. So thank you, Sohail, for some amazing, beautiful memories we have shared together. He has been the president of the chapter, vice president of the chapter, support and culture director, and many more roles. Additional credits is he's a Green Pin member, a Gold Club member, and he's also on the support director team of the region. And he's presently supporting Legends chapter at this current point of time. And in the past, he has supported Dazzlers chapters and I think Madras chapter. So thank you, Sohail. Thanks a lot. And friends, put our hands together and let's welcome. Just put welcome in the chat box to Sohail, and then we'll have Sohail on the screen. I want to see welcome in the chat box. Musamil, thank you. Farsana, Ketan, brilliant. Satta, Ilangovan, thank you. Okay, so over to you, Sohail. Sohail, can we have you on the screen? Thank you.
Can you see me now? I've already.
Yes, I can see you. I can see you.
Okay, I need to just adjust my view.
Yeah, please do that.
Yeah, great. We are there. Okay.
So, Sohail, over to you for next 30 minutes. It's all yours. And if anywhere I need to bring direction, I know I don't have to interrupt you. We are a very methodical and disciplined person by yourself. So all the very best. Keep sharing your life and your story and your lessons learned. And for all the people in the room, if you have any questions to ask, there's a Q&A box. Don't put it on the chat box, right? So please put it in the Q&A box so that when the time for Q&A comes up, we will take up all your questions. So yes, Sohail, over to you. All the very best.
Thank you, Sunil, and thank you for the opportunity for allowing me to speak today. I'd like to welcome all the visitors who've joined in today. Great to have you all this evening to hear me speak. I'll do my best not to bore you. I've led an eventful life, so I think that itself would make it pretty interesting. Okay, so what am I going to do today? You guys must have heard about this line that says something that no one knows about me. You must have seen it in your dance cards, right? So that's what I'm going to say today. There are lots of things I'm going to say which no one knows about me. So here goes. So I'm Sohail Karenboy from the Brios chapter, Chennai CBDB region, into the category of tours and travels. I have pet names too. My maternal grandparents and all my aunts used to call me Baba. Okay, and my close buddies today, they call me Kareem Lala. That's because it bears a resemblance to an underworld don, and of course, it is in my surname as well. Okay, where was I born? I was born in Mumbai on 21st September 1972. Languages I speak, English, of course, Tamil kuda pesla, Yolovana pesla, और मैं हिंदी में भी बात करता हूँ. Religion, it's a very sticky subject for most of us, but yeah, I just like to address it all the same. Luckily for me, as a child, my parents' belief systems kept changing, and thank God for that. So I turned out not religious, and even till today, my mom keeps pestering me to do what I need to do to prove myself to be worthy of my religion. But I just tell mom, hey, it's not about the religion. You got to be a good human being at first. Okay, because belief cannot be taught. And I'm really glad that my daughter has taken after me completely, maybe overtaken me, and my son is halfway there. Halfway there. My parents, my dad, Sultan Ali Karimboy, the late Sultan Ali Karimboy. All I'll just say is that he's been a facilitator to me, to us as a family. Lost him to COVID last December. My mom, Shanaz Sultan Ali, she's been the provider for the family and my inspiration and my backbone till date. She taught me most of all the good values I have in me, and the rest I've learned from all the beautiful people that I've crossed paths with in life. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for bringing me into this world. It's been a beautiful life and lots more to come. I have a sister. Her name is Sineen. She's married and she's got 2 kids. Her husband works in a senior position in ICICI Bank in Mumbai. So that's my small little family. My first family, actually. Okay, my childhood. This is going to be really interesting. I had a very normal and eventful childhood. I've done it all. The foundation of my character actually was built over there, like for all of us. But I truly believe that. I had a bad temper as a child, which continued till my daughter was born. And also my habit of not sharing my food with anyone who started as a child. So I'll start with Mumbai. My childhood memories are in 2 places, Mumbai and Chennai, because everybody doesn't remember everything about their childhood, but my childhood memories in these 2 places are really, really strong. So Mumbai, my maternal grandparents' home. I'd like to pay tribute to my great-grandmother. We used to call her Maji. My grandfather, Nana and Nani. Why I'm saying this is because they are the best souls that I've ever known, and God doesn't make them so pure-hearted anymore. Being the oldest grandson and being pampered by all my 3 aunts, that's my mom's sisters, most part of my childhood, I was fat and plump. All my summer vacations were spent in Mumbai, in places called Kolaba and Lokhandwala South Bangla, that's what they call it. My taste for good food is all thanks to Mumbai. I can tell you some of the stuff which my memories are very strong about. Of course, home cooked food first, then pickles by my Maji, which is my great grandmother. Popsicle, we used to call it Pepsi in those days. You can Google it, you'll know what it is. Baraf Gola is crushed ice on a stick dipped in orange flavor or Kala Khatta flavor, which was at Juhu Beach in Mumbai and Chowpatty. And of course, chaat, Chinese, Parsi food, Guju snacks, Suksagar juices, and sizzlers from restaurants called Kobe Yoko. Okay, those were the in thing in those days. And yes, I've not forgotten my childhood. And whenever I visited Mumbai, I've always made it a point to visit the first home that I knew as a child, which is my Kolaba home. And it brings back all those memories. Move over to Chennai. That was Mumbai, move over to Chennai. Okay, I was brought up in Egmore, Halls Road. We stayed at a bungalow which really resembled the Titanic. And I can safely say that my dad and mom were the Jack and Rose of the Titanic. And it didn't sink. It didn't sink, but it had a very leaky roof. We were never able to fix it in all the years that we lived. Whatever waterproofing we did, there was some leakage or the other because we inherited that property and it was so full of cracks. That building still stands. If you guys like to see it, it's like a heritage building. It's the building that divides Halls Road, Egmore with the second street of State Colony. That's the first building over there. It divides. Okay, so it's in the shape. It's got the hull of a ship to begin with. All right, so that was on my home. Uh, so yeah, the home also had a couple of things I can't forget. We had a balcony that was open to sky, and there was a pipe from the terrace that let down rainwater. So I've enjoyed showers from that pipe coming down, and I've walked in a knee-deep water, not knee-deep, hip-deep water in State Colony, which was besides my house. It used to get flooded. And yes, my most favorite of all, we had a mango tree adjoining our house, our bungalow, with the next bungalow, and I used to love plucking all those mangoes. They were at hand's reach. We would pluck them, and we did get caught at times, but then yeah, that habit hasn't gone. I just repeated it last evening also. I went to a friend's place. I saw a low hanging mango, and I just went for it. Okay, so what did I do in my childhood? எல்லாமே விளையாடி இருக்கோம். கில்லி, கோலி, காத்தாடி, manja கூட செய்ய தெரியும். I know the recipe for manja. I can't cook a meal to save my life, but I definitely know the recipe for manja. If you guys want to know it, you can connect with me offline. All right. And yes, watching movies every Sunday evening on my neighbor's black and white TV. We didn't have a TV back then, right? So these are some very strong memories. One more strong memory is we had a mechanic shed which is right next to our house, and come Ayudha Puja, they would be blaring music, which I really enjoyed because they played all the latest songs. And the only thing I looked forward to was the puri packet that came mixed with jaggery pieces over there after this puja. So that was a very, very strong memory. And yes, as I said, I love food, and eating food at all my neighbors' places during the festivals and on Sundays. That was my childhood. School. I don't have memories of my LKG, which I supposedly did in Sherwood Hall. Okay, but my memory started with my UKG, which I did in Assam Memorial, and I studied there all the way up to the 12th. My first memory was having a classroom in a hut. Very, very faint memory, but yes, I do remember that. I was an average student, but not in class without getting into much trouble. I ate out of my friends' tiffins, as we all did. I particularly loved the food that my Punjabi friend used to bring. It smelled really delicious. I'm yet to get something similar. Okay, so here's something interesting. I was very shy. I couldn't speak to girls for nuts and not even look them in the eye. So my first crush was in school, and as you predicted, it didn't go beyond that. Okay, I had a ponytail in my 11th and 12th standard. I wore fluorescent laces and I wore fluorescent t-shirts as well. Maybe it was just to attract attention. I don't know. I played cricket for the school team in 11th and 12th. And I really like to take pride in saying that I was one of the founder members for the inter-school cultural program, which is called Genesis, which is still on today. I still remember the night before the first cultural was launched. We spent the night in our school bus. We were just celebrating because the stage was getting put up and all of that, and we actually slept over there. And all we had time for in the morning was to change our clothes, wash our faces, and welcome the guests. So those memories are precious, absolutely precious. And then Sunil mentioned something about going to a notorious college, but I had a taste of it back in school as well. So when I was in 11th, students of 11th standard, not even 12th, we led a strike because one of our teachers was dismissed arbitrarily. I wouldn't say I was in the forefront in the strike, but yes, I was part of it. Since we were all below 18, nobody could touch us. And we took advantage of that. We went around the place, we vandalized things, and at our level, we did whatever we had to. Right. So that was one very strong memory. So I got bitten by the stage bug and the fashion show bug in school. We had a very strong creative team. So we used to take part in culturals. We used to win all the stage events like Ad Zap and skits. And then I got into catwalking, which I enjoyed very much. And I loved the questions that were asked later on, which most of the time clinched me the best male model. All right. So the icing on the cake was, in spite of all this, they made me the school pupil leader in the 12th standard. But yes, by then I had reformed. I became this very dutiful, very decent guy, and I think I did a fairly decent job as the school pupil leader. So you must have been wondering how I did in school, okay, with all of this. So academically, I did pretty well in my 10th. I got a distinction, but in my 12th, I dipped. I just managed to get a first class. So that was school. Moving on to college. Okay, let me let you in on a secret. Even though I joined new college, I got that seat with some influence. Okay, because I just got a 60+%, and none of the other colleges were willing to take me. Right. So before I speak about college, this is where I started making my deep friendships. Okay, I'm referring to the boys right now. My friends have always been my life and my bloodline. We've done some crazy stuff together. We've been through thick and thin, and so I mean, they've been with me through thick and thin, and so have I. Okay, now the girlfriends. Uh, I had two in college. Both were short-lived, and the third one ended in marriage. Okay, so college was like this. I hardly attended college, and we were mostly at the movies, or there was a restaurant called Yadgar. The lassi was awesome. We used to just go and have that, or we used to be hanging around in the college canteen. I'm sure a lot of you would have seen this restaurant called Safari and Cafe Amin on which is in Roypeta. So that's where we used to hang out. And yeah, that was college. So why all this was happening is because my good friends were all outside college. In college, I only used to meet them at college. We never used to socialize apart from that. Okay, interesting stuff again. I used to wear polo neck t-shirts. I used to wear polka dotted shirts, and I used to wear round shaped shades like Gandhiji. I never used to have a power glasses back then, so I did whatever I wanted. Okay, so this is where I got bolder and I developed a sense of humor as well. I was pretty popular for making comments in the class from the last bench, which I'm sure a lot of us would have done in our lives. So college life was all about home parties, about networking with a great friend circle. Been to all the nightclubs in the city. Been to a lot of friends' marriages, shadis, because I had a lot of friends who were older than me back then. Okay, it was a mix of older friends and younger friends, and all of them are still my friends today. So my friendships are deep and strong. Right. So my tryst with culturals continued in college because I was already bitten by the bug, and uh, we loosely formed a group representing Madras University. Me and a couple of my friends. Again, we had a genius to write the script, and I just went on to stage and acted. I also continued to do my modeling. What happened over there is among my close group of friends, we formed, not formed, actually, we participated in a cultural program in IIT. Okay, we got all the beautiful women in the city and all the handsome guys in the city to form a team. We practiced, we went on stage, and we won. It came into the newspapers the next day. And then we said we need to do something bigger. So we formed a company and we started doing commercial shows. Back then, sponsorship was very tough. There was not much of a market for all this. So we did what we did, and we did it with all our heart. And we did pretty well, I should say that. And then, yes, all that stopped after college because everybody had to go on with their lives. Right. So I did get a chance to do a bit of modeling back then when I had a lot of hair and I looked a lot more better. So I did an ad print for a insurance advertisement. I have the picture still. And I did an ad for leather jackets, which was owned by a friend of mine. And I'm sure you all know the Genesis Basics brand, which you see in the stores today. Yes, I modeled for them way back in college days as well. Yes, so academically, again in college, school was much better, I should say, but college was pathetic. In my final year, I had 14 arrears, okay, which I left behind and went to work in Bangalore for a year. Since I didn't have any plans of becoming anything in particular, I said, hey, we'll take care of it, and I went. So before I move on to work, I just like to tell you that the celebrities that have met me before they became big names, one is Sachin Tendulkar, and the other one is Salman Khan. I have photos to prove it. I have met one more celebrity as well, but the photos are really unclear and grainy. But that's a celebrity I have met. The other two met me. All right. This celebrity, as you all know, is Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. I would have met him 4-5 times, multiple times, because we had access to AVM studios and Satya studios in those days, where they were all shooting for the movie Mahan. I met the entire star cast as a kid, and super excited about it. I mean, those memories are something that you cannot wish away. Okay, work. So I told you all before that I went to work after college. So I spent 1 year. Okay, this work was basically recruitment. A family member from my mom's side was running a recruitment firm, and I used to work with them during my summer vacations every year. I like to work. So they said, why don't you come and work with us? Because you're just fresh out of college and you can try this. Because I didn't have any plans in life. So I said, okay, let's go. So we had a home to stay in where I shared it with a couple of their managers. And I was just like a trainee over there. So I did whatever was required of me and all of that. So what happened in Bangalore is that the good news is that I cleared all my 14 arrears at one shot. Okay, I visited every single pub there, every single theater, every single restaurant that I could, because I was living a bachelor's life over there, single. Okay, with all that partying and all that in Chennai, what to do, where to go. So I used to go to all these places. And yes, whenever my friends used to come down from Chennai, I used to look forward to it, and we used to do that as well. All right, so 1 year down the line in Bangalore, I said, no, I want to do this recruitment business in Chennai as well. So I returned back. I said, no, I'll come back, get myself qualified. I want to do something bigger. I came back, and that 1 year was a foundation, a lot of learnings. I learned a lot from the managers I worked with, because they've had tremendous recruitment experience in very, very large companies in the Middle East. So learnings again there, that was another foundation. Foundations in childhood, foundation in my workplace. All right, then I came back, I started doing a course in, it's called a PG Diploma in Human Resources Management and Industrial Relations, which is, I mean, it used to be called Personnel Management, not HR, Personnel Management. So it was an evening course. So what I used to do is in the day, I used to help my parents at the store we owned. I'm sure all of you would have seen that Karim Boy store in Paris, that big store. No, we didn't own that store. We owned a small store next to that. And that's where I used to help them with. So I used to work by day over there. In the evening, I used to go to MSSW for this course. MSSW is a very renowned institution for HR. All right. And I made great friends there too, most of whom are highly placed, and I'm closely in touch with some of them till today. We've had some great times then as well. Okay, moving on to my social networks. Apart, I mean, VNI is not a social network, it is a network, but social networks, I'm using this word, is I've been part of Leo Club in college, a lot of fun. We did some community service, but I've been I have very strong memories of being part of Roundtable India and Rotary. I belong to the Roundtable 3 was the table I was part of, and Rotary is Chennai Mid City is the club I'm part of. Why I joined these clubs? One is it was a good place for the family, and second thing is that this is an opportunity for you to give back to society. So with a view to do that in terms of projects, we used to do a lot of projects. We used our table used to build classrooms for the underprivileged kids. So that gave me a lot of satisfaction. We did some good work. Okay, and yeah, so that was basically about my social networks. Okay, then work continued. Once I finished this course, asked to start operations in Chennai, same recruitment company. I started with one room, Kilpaw Garden Road, I still remember, just one room. There's no toilet, nothing, just the room, table, chair, people sit beside, there's just place to wait for one person outside, all right? Went on to a 2-room office in Josiah Street. Thankfully, we had a restroom in the office as well this time. And from there on, I moved to 1,500 square feet in Graham's Road. This was my growth graph in terms of office space. Recruitment business went on very well from the time I started it off in 95 till 2004. I managed to build a few properties and managed to retire my parents from the business that they were doing. Again, a lot of foundations and learnings from my work with the numerous people. Okay, basically my work took me to the entire Middle East and to the entire Asian SAARC countries, basically. So my job was basically to acquire new clients, to carry on the recruitment process. So I gathered a lot of knowledge about the recruitment, about each and every strata of society or each and every vertical of business. It really helped. I've recruited CEOs of companies. I've recruited people into catering, into medical, into construction, and everything that you can think of. So that gave me a vast exposure. And I've worked with people from, let's say, 100 different countries. It gave me that's where I became disciplined. That's where I learned my presentation skills, my communication skills. It all came from there. The way you present yourself, the way you dress, punctuality, process, everything came from there, right? So that was work. Why the change from recruitment to travel? In 2008, there was an economic meltdown in the Middle East, which was pretty bad. Till then, it was good. And that's when we started the travel agency in the same company as a backward integration for our own in-house ticketing. So that's how it started. And then I said, I'll focus on this. Okay. I let go of recruitment and I started focusing on travel. Like everybody else, I started with one customer. And yes, we started with plain vanilla, which was just ticketing and visas. And back then we used to make quite a bit of money with just that. Okay. So we had a small team. We worked our way up. And as time went by, I acquired a lot of clients who used to travel business class. I don't know, maybe it's the kind of person I am, which is why I got those clients. Yeah, so then the demand grew from plain vanilla to a Sunday, and then from a Sunday to what do you call the earthquake, which is like 7, 8 ice creams into one bowl, basically, right? So it went on from tickets and visas to hotels, to tours, to luxury packages. And yes, we did cruises would include those as well. So highlights of my high points of my travel career, I've done a group up to 300 people to Sri Lanka. And the foundation I built over there is we've got rock solid travel partners in all the countries in the world. Okay, and also in India. So that's my foundation. That's where I come from, and that's what I gained from the travel business. Okay, I just like to tell you about a fun thing that happened on one of my trips to Philippines. So I'd gone with my friends, and we all arrived there in the evening. We're tired. We traveled. Flight was late. We had traveled about 12 hours. So we all freshened up, and we came down in that evening. It was about 6 o'clock. Came down to the portico of the hotel. It was actually not a portico. It was the straight out of the hotel. So the car pulls over, and he stops over there, and the guy gets off from the right side of the car. Okay. I was watching him, and the car starts moving. And I said, hey, your car is moving. Your car is moving. And he just looks back at me, and he gives me a dirty look. And all my friends burst out laughing. Okay, since we can't interact right now, I'll tell you the reason for that. Philippines is a left-hand drive country. And till today, my friends take my case on this, among a lot of other things. Okay, this is the most decent thing that I can share over here. Okay, and one more incident that has stuck in my head is we again had gone on a trip with friends to Berlin to celebrate a friend's 40th birthday. Okay, nothing happened to that friend, but his brother-in-law had a heart attack on our trip. Okay, so luckily, I won't say I made sure that he was insured. Luckily, he was insured. Okay, I just facilitated that. but it happened on a Thursday. 3 blocks. He was admitted to the best hospital in Berlin. That's what saved him. If it was anywhere else, I don't think he would have lived. And we could see him the very next day. They did an emergency procedure and we could see him the very next day. So the challenge was all our visas were expiring and his brother-in-law had to stay back there till his wife came from India. So coordinating with all of them for the visas, managed everything. I should really say the Germans are humane. We really struggled to find the right source, but we got it done, and everything went out well. My friend came back, then his wife joined the guy who had suffered from a heart attack, and they came back only after like 2-3 weeks to India. So that was, things do happen even on trips like these. They can be a lot of fun, but things do happen. You got to keep your cool, right? And that's another foundation of my travel experience. Right. So my ups and downs in business, in the recruitment business, there was a stage where I had to sell my car. I did. Okay. To settle what I had to settle. And in the travel business, I do have my downs right now. I've never seen a down. I used to see very temporary downs when the exchange rates used to, fluctuate and all that. People stop traveling. But now is a tough time, as you all know. But yes, I will tide over this soon. I'm very, very confident. And yes, I do have loyal clients, and I would do everything that I can to make sure that I keep them. That's all I'll say. Those are my downs in business. Okay, so family. All right. So guys, all I will say is that like all good things have to come to an end. This one had to as well. And it left so many learnings of life. Yes, I did crumble when it ended. I crumbled completely. But I worked my way out with help of some very special friends. It opened the door to many new things, which I would never have been able to go through or experience. That's all I will say about this. Okay, I want to share with you how I cope with it. Okay, friends first. You need to have that one friend whom you share everything with. I never used to do that before this happened, but then I developed that habit. There should always be one person you should share everything with. I mean, no filters, absolutely, and that really helped. Okay, you can get help professionally, but then friends are the best. What I did, how I coped, listened to a lot of music, focused on my fitness. I was 119 kilos over there. At that time, I dropped 30 kilos in the next 9 months. Okay, of course, I did eat my food properly. I just cut down on my rice and sweet intake. I did a lot of snooker. I played snooker, and yeah. So what I want to tell you guys is that whether you're going through anything in life or not, I mean, life is like that. Life cannot be a bed of roses always. Your wellness, okay, your wellness is the most important thing. If you ever feel that you're not feeling right, either physically, emotionally, or mentally, it is the most important thing. Okay, I'm telling you from where I sit here, and I've experienced it and I continue experiencing it. It does wonders for you. So please take care of your wellness. Okay, I won't call it health. Wellness is the term that I'd like to use. Okay. Also, the other thing I'd like to say is that I've remained positive also. I continue to remain positive. I'm basically a positive person. And maybe I can just say that I have a little advantage of strength. I don't think recovery in situations like these happens so quickly, but I'm lucky that it did with all the support that I had. All right. So yeah, the good things that happened as a result of all this, okay, which would have never happened. Just imagine I was 119 kilos. I would have remained that way, maybe, got a lot of ailments and stuff like that and become much more unhealthy. So I stopped overthinking. That was for my own mental health. I stopped explaining my actions to anybody. I did whatever I pleased, like I still do. I calmed down a lot. Okay. The first reduction in my anger levels happened when my daughter was born in 2009, and this calmed me down further. All right. As I told you guys, I dropped 30 kilos so that I became Sohail version 2.0. That's what some friends called me. And yes, what BNI did to me, at one BNI meeting, I met a model coordinator. after having lost all this weight and looking a little presentable than I used to before that, I met Miss Tara Umesh. She was invited by one of our BNI members, and she offered me to audition for an ad. So I did that, and what that landed me was I did a few ads. Uh, I'm grateful to her. I'm grateful to the member who invited her. And I would request at this point to ask Ajit to play a small clip that will basically sum up the ads I've done right now. I'd like you all to see that. That's the only thing I'm going to play and show to all of you. Ajit, over to you. All right, fine. Till Ajit comes in, I'll just talk about Ajit when you're ready. Just let me know.
Ajit is ready. Ajit is ready.
Okay, fine. No problem. Guys, I'm talking. Just give me some. Just give me some feedback on your chat box while Ajit plays that link. Like what you hear?
You want me to play that and also share on the thing, right? I'm just sharing that on the chat box.
Yeah. It just has to. They should be able to see.
Ajit, share it, and play it.
Yes, I'm doing that. I'm playing that.
Yeah, you play it. Don't share on the chat box.
Play it. Yeah. Don't share it. I don't want that to happen. I want to play it. Yeah.
So
yeah, we can see the screen. Play it. Yeah, play it, please.
One minute. This player is having a problem.
If there's a glitch, we can.
No, 1 minute.
Overlook
it. It will be this.
Ajit, get it ready. In the meantime, Sohail, you continue.
Yeah, sure.
Ajit, you can do it in the back end, please.
Yeah. All right. So, Sunil, how are we on time? I've just got one more segment to go. That's all.
Yeah, please. You're well on time. Go ahead, please.
Okay, awesome, super. Okay, so so that was a good thing that happened, and I want to share that with all of you. And yes, I'd also like to say that I am back as support director at Legends Chapter.
Sohail, I think it is playing now. Ajit, you can play now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Play and share it, please. Volume, Ajit. We need the volume.
Volume. Just play it from the beginning, no, Ajit?
Ajit, sound is not coming, Ajit.
That's okay. That's fine. That's my first ad for Gold Winner Oil, cooking oil. I play a shopkeeper over there, but that's how ads are.
एबेठारु मूवी गोल्ड विनर सुपारिश करिबी
Pocket money?
No, something else.
Result?
Happy Father's Day, Dad.
Thank you, Ajit. Thank you so much. So basically, I'll just sum it up. That was an ad for Gold Winner Oil. There was an ad for Joe Saluka's jewelry, and there was an ad for Lotte Chocopai for Father's Day last year, which you all saw. And yes, the ad was in Oriya. You rightly guessed it, the first one, the Gold Winner ad. I'm sure you've watched it before. It is where it's coming from. And the fourth one that I did was a shoot for T-shirts manufactured by one of our ex-BNI members called Chris Cross. Okay, and my missed opportunities, I missed doing a bit role in a Rajnikant film because we had a BNI outdoor socials at that time. I was selected, and I just decided to say no. So I've said no to Rajnikant. All right. Okay. So that was that. And yeah. Lastly, the good thing that has happened is that I've returned as support director to Legends chapter. Happy to be back, and look forward to some great times over there. So these are all the good things that happen. I'll move on to my kids next. My son, His name is Ayan. He's 21 years old. He's completed his education from Hindu College, Delhi University, BA Economics. He is in a job already. He got placed on his campus interviews with the analytics arm of a Swiss bank. It's called BNB Analytics. So he's already in a job. He intends going abroad for further studies. And yeah, he's going to be here for some time. My daughter, my very special one, she's 12 years old. Her name is Ira. She's a fabulous artist. She's very good with her hands. Basically, from a very young age, art, craft, anything creative, she's great. Okay, so always encouraged and gave it made her bloom basically. And she goes to NCTM school, international board. She's going to the class 7. Okay, and yes, they don't stay with me, but I get to see them. That's okay. All right. Okay, then comes the last segment, which is the highlight. I'm sure you all have guessed it. It's going to be about BNI. So everything else is done. I'm just going to speak about BNI now. So BNI journey started off in 2012. Good friend of mine and fellow roundtabler, Varinder Singh Bobby, he called me to a meeting of Azure. Azure already had a travel person back then. So I said, okay, when is the next chapter starting? Because I liked the concept and I wanted to sign in, and that's how it happened. So I was one of those people who said yes immediately. And that's where the journey started. I don't want to elaborate too much on that. You all know how it happens. We have contact meetings, we have coffee meetings. A lot of memories about how BNI was back then to how it is right now. Maybe you guys, if you want to know more about that, me and Satta can be the right source for it. Okay, we can tell you all the things that we have done, which you guys will never do right now. Fun things, real fun things. All right, great. So having spent 10 years of my life at BNI is now like a way is like a way of life for me. It's like an integral part of me. And I have great learnings, strong relationships, and I've had some crazy fun as well. And here's to many more years. So I'm a member at the Bryos chapter, and I represent the travel and tours category, as you all know. I'm privileged to be a founder member of my chapter, which I've already mentioned to you. The strength of my chapter, I should speak about it. I will be failing in my duty if I don't do so, is we've been very consistent from day one. Okay, we've never fallen, we've always grown, we've always been steady. That's because of strong members being taken in, always. We had a strong team, always. Okay, we had potential leaders to choose from. We never had a shortage of leaders. And we've always had strong processes, and we've had great culture, right? So you cannot ask for anything better than that from a BNI chapter. I mean, whoever, any BNI veteran you ask, they will agree with me. They definitely would agree with me. So I've done fairly well in BNI. I wouldn't say I could have done better. I'm just grateful. I've clocked close to 20 crores in business in 9 years. My success stories, I'd like to thank at this point members in my chapter. I have Jitender, he gave me a group for Bali. A former member Ramki gave me a group for Malaysia. And Sandeep Paheti, he referred me to a big corporate account, Dr. Agarwal's Eye Hospital. And I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank Ashokji Mimani also for all the referrals that he's given me. Very, very valuable connects. All right. And yes, if I'll be failing in my duty if I don't talk about socials and drivers. So just like the culture that we follow for business, we have a completely crazy culture for our socials. And I've loved every bit of each and every social that we've had, that I've been part of. I know I missed that Red Boat social, regrets always, but yeah, I had some crazy fun. I've really loved it. And I know whenever the next one comes, I'll be there. So that's about my chapter. I'll move on next to me being a director consultant. I've been a director consultant at Dazzler's chapter and Madras chapter previously with 1.5 years at each of them. And now I've become the support director at Legends chapter. So the highlights of me being a director consultant is that I received the best support director award from none other than Murli Srinivasan and Max Srinivasan at Calcutta, where we all had gone as a group of director consultants. So that was my high point. And the other high point that I can't forget is the trip we all made to Bangalore in an Audi car. And we attended the national conference where Dr. Ivan Meisner was attending. So these are my high points. That was BNI, that was family, that was childhood, that was work. I'd like to sum this up by expressing my gratitude to all the present and past members of Bryos chapter, present and past members of other chapters in our region, Faiz, for those of you who remember him, Bobby for getting me into BNI, and I'd like to also say a special thanks to Ravi Danda, a former member. I'd like to thank the DC team, Director Consultants team, past and present, and yes, our to-go person, Ajit, who's always there for everybody, all of us in the region. And last but not the least, definitely not the least, I'd like to say a big thank you to our Executive Director, Mr. Sunil Saitia. He's always given me the due where, he's always given me credit where it was due. And I think he's given me more prominence than I deserve. So Sunil, thank you very much for being a great friend and a great sounding board. I don't know. I think I have words to say beyond that. And you're the reason why I'm here today. Thank you, Sunil. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Sohail.
Yeah. So thank you, guys. That's my time.
So do you want to share that happy incident in Calcutta? We were walking on the streets
yes,
of Calcutta.
If I have time, I thought I was running out of time.
No, please share that story.
So we all had been to Calcutta, Director Consultants. So for those of who know Mr. Ravi Danda, a former member of our chapter, Bryos, he wanted to find out his maternal home, that is the place where he was born in Calcutta. So we all said, no, we must do this. We were staying in one corner of the city. We found out the address and we went there and we walked for a couple of hours. We went street after street and searched and, I said, must be this house, must be this house, must be this house. He is like 55 years old plus. Can you imagine that bungalow where he was born and where he was living as a child would be there now? All the buildings were new. So it was like a wild goose chase, but we enjoyed it. We got properly tanned. It was worth the effort. We ultimately didn't find the house, but we had great fun. We came back and that was one of the most memorable moments of that trip. That was it. Yeah.
And we thought every house must be in that house. And we were telling, please select one and then.
No. And you know him, he will never say yes for the sake of saying it.
Yeah. Good. So, okay, friends. So if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat box, and also any questions in the chat box, maybe as it's coming, then I can share some. Okay. Vivek Menon, your friend has asked, did the mango you plucked last evening taste good?
I haven't had it as yet. I'm waiting for it to ripen.
Yeah, he was busy preparing for this session. Okay, so any other questions anybody has? Can you share your ups and downs in terms of maybe the chapter journey or support data journey, and what are the lessons you learned from it?
The one lesson I've learned is never give up. That is what I wanted to add at the end of my presentation, but I thought I was running out of time. So the one lesson I've learned is keep at it, keep trying, never give up, and you are important and nothing else matters. That's the lesson I've learned. Okay, lows, yes. Couple of years back, I had just taken up the directorship of Madras chapter, but I had to move on because I was going through my personal crisis in my life. So that was one. And previously also with Dazzlers, there were no issues, but I just had to take some time off at that point of time. We did well, chapter did well, yes, but like all good things have to come to an end, it had to end. So to fresh new beginnings with Legends chapter, happy to be part of Legends. Strong chapter, great members. I look forward to supporting them with all my heart.
Good. So, okay, Muzammil is asking question, how do you bounce back each time? And what is your message for people in the travel industry and others that are more impacted at this moment in time?
So Muzammil, I go with the flow, Muzammil. I go with the flow. I take time out every time I go through a down. and identify something that interests me or something that sparks my interest, take it up, and I work at it with all my heart, and that's how I bounce back. I never give up.
Brilliant. Okay, now, oh, that's a question from Satasa for you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, there's a second part. What is your message for people in the travel industry?
My message for people in the travel industry is do some deep diving. If you have a base of great clientele, and if you've had the exposure like I've been lucky to have, a lot of people who own the travel industry, I'm sorry to say, I don't mean to put them down, have not been lucky to have the exposure that I've had. Okay, I mean skill sets. All right. So identify the skill sets that can make you to get into another stream of business, build 2-3 new streams of business, and work on them, because the travel industry is not here to stay. So deep diving is one. Try to look at new verticals. Okay, like when flights are not there, look at road trips, right? And if you cannot do that, if you're not having the expertise or the financial backing, then just look at, put all your cards on the table and assess what you can do. That's my advice.
Brilliant. Good. Like he has found his niche in acting again.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Okay. Satas is asking, explain about the process you did during your LT time, where you went and met all the members at their office with your team, and what was the result of that?
That was a long time back, Sata. You still remember that?
Yeah.
Thank you. So yeah, Sata, the basic thing was how can I help? This is something that you believe in also very strongly. Same thing. So we went and visited all of them, and we just exchanged. We just asked them what their challenges were, and we were there to help them. We were just there for them. That's all. It was not. We were not digging deep or trying to extract things out of them. Sometimes just being there for people makes them look up to you and makes them want to do things for you. That's all. It was just a human connect exercise. That's all.
Can we just go a little deep? Yes, you went member to member, and what was the result of it?
Okay. I never like to blow my own trumpet. Yeah, but then, yeah. Okay, you're talking about when I was in the leadership team, right?
Exactly. You went member to member, because it is not an easy task to go and meet every person in person and then get to know about them. Because I was a support director at that point of time, I know it. And can you just share the result because of which what happened?
We excelled in every aspect. There was no department in which our chapter was number 2. We were number 1 on everything consistently for all the 6 months.
Exactly.
I mean, that explains it. So that was a happy chapter that was topping everything everywhere with no pressure of any sort on anybody.
Exactly. So that was really important. And the two, they went face to face personally, right? Everywhere they went, either at least out of 3 people, 2 people were there.
Yeah.
To meet every member.
Yeah, we did some groundwork. We did some homework on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Good, brilliant. And okay. Next, again from Vivek Menon, there's a question. I know that weight loss has helped you physically. Can you please share if it has helped you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually as well? If yes, please let us know.
Vivek, yes, definitely. The weight loss is not meant to look more good looking. It also helps me with the weight over here, calms me down a lot more, and helps me think straight, helps me stay focused, helps me to stay away from what's negative and what's not good for me. So to answer your question, it's helped me in every single way, and I strongly recommend it for you.
Thank you. So must be start taking on walks along with you, Vivek.
No, I won't make that mistake. He has to go on his own walks. I always go on my own walks. You'll never walk. If you walk with somebody, there's a problem. But more especially if it's Vivek, it's a bigger problem.
Okay, you both take it offline.
Yeah, we always do.
Yeah, I know. Okay, you're really quick and witty in replying on almost every topic. Were you like this since childhood?
I developed this in college. In my childhood, as I told you, I was a ill-tempered brat because I was the youngest grandchild, which I forgot to mention. So I was all pampered, and you know what happens to pampered kids, right? So there was no sense of humor there. It was just what I wanted. That's it. So my sense of humor was in college, and very happy to say that it's just gotten better in the last 2 years.
Brilliant. Because the weight of the head has gone, I think. Now it's all weight. I'm also losing weight some. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a question. Someone wants to speak live. Ashok Memani.
Yeah, sure.
Do I have the permission to give him permission?
Sure. Ashokji, I cannot say no to him.
Okay, Ashokji, you're on.
Yeah, see, basically, I raised my hand when you asked Sohail the question that they met everybody physically. That was a wonderful experience for all the members. As a member of Bryos, I can tell you, when the LT came and met us, all of us physically, right at the beginning when they were taking over, that really raised our spirits, that made us want to do more and do better. So that was a fantastic thing. That was a fantastic feeling. I just wanted to put that across. That was fantastic action. Which thanks a lot.
Thank you, Ashokji.
Thank you, Ashokji. Thank you
So
so
you
much.
have someone, what's it, telling it in person, what is his been his experience. That's brilliant. Thank you. One more question is coming in the chat box. Friends, I request you to put your questions in the Q&A box, not in the chat box. So when you had your emotional issues, did it affect your business?
I didn't work for a year, one full year.
That's it. Yeah. In fact, I believe a man is an emotional being. So when emotions go offline, everything else goes offline, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's easy to say, it's easy to advise, but one size doesn't fit all. What I've gone through, maybe the solutions may not fit somebody else because they are different over here.
Right. And I know so many times we had calls. Okay, Gunit is wanting to ask, what is the most challenging trip you handled?
The most challenging trip I handled was the 300 group to Sri Lanka. It was because people were coming from multiple cities in the country into Colombo, different dates, and some people were even flying in from abroad. Okay, so putting all that together was I wouldn't say a nightmare. We did it beautifully, smoothly, absolutely no mishaps. Everybody was happy. The client, in fact, got mementos and appreciated all the team of my land partners in Sri Lanka. So that was my most challenging trip. But the bigger ones are always challenging. But I've done smaller ones also that are equally complicated. But yeah, we'll take it offline sometime.
Okay, okay, fine. So let's come to the fun side. So which is the last movie you watched in pilot theater?
Watched in what? Sorry?
Pilot theater.
Octopussy.
Octopussy. Right. Okay, good. So that question was from Chata sir. Because
I remember that movie.
No, because he also lived in Roypeta till 2005.
Oh, okay. So he knows Safari and Cafe Amin very well.
Yeah. Okay. Do you travel with this group tours also? Do you do that?
Only if it's 100 plus, I do. Otherwise, it doesn't make economic sense.
Brilliant.
And why I don't do that is because I have efficient land partners in all the countries. I don't need to travel.
Brilliant. That's a brilliant answer. Yeah. Right. Okay, good. So Sata, maybe you can give Sohail a referral of more than 100 people and you will have the pleasure of having Sohail with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Did the long hair ponytail look wearing fluorescent shirt attract more attention from the opposite sex, or is the current look in pink shirt doing a better job?
The present look. Maybe back then it would have, but I never noticed. I never looked around. I was see no evil, hear no evil, talk no evil types.
So now you're open for evil, you mean to say?
Always.
There's
always a devil in each one of us, and I don't say no to that.
Okay, done. Satta sir wants to speak. What do you say?
Yes, Sohail, that was a good, engaging 45, 50 minutes. And some of the things I can able to connect is, I didn't know that we both were, I think, living in the same Peters Road. I mean, I was living opposite to New College.
You mean in another school?
No, not in the school alone.
No, I mean besides that. Besides that.
Yeah. So yeah, when you mentioned this Yadgar, Safari, Cafe, I mean, we guys used to
Hang around there, yeah. I'm
yeah,
sure. I'm
and
sure.
a Safari that Appam and Ekari and your Yadgar Chola Bhatura, and all
And
those stuff.
lassi, chola bhatura and lassi.
Lassi, and
Guys,
cafe
it's
omelette
evening
tea.
time. It's evening time. Keep it short
Cafe
on the
omelette tea.
football.
And one more thing I just wanted to tell you. Long time I wanted to ask you, but somehow I didn't. I used to think of it, then something will come up. I'll pass that thought. Uh, During my professional years, I mean, I got a connection with Karim Boys, and I came to Karim Boys Paris Con.
Okay.
I think I don't remember the year. Maybe if I look at the drawings, I will have. I mean,
Sure.
I was called to somebody referred and went and met not you. I mean, I went met an elder person
Yeah, that's my uncle. He passed away.
to design the front facade,
Okay.
to redesign the front facade of the Karim Boy stores.
Right.
So we did some work, but they didn't do that work.
Okay.
So that whenever I see you, I wanted to ask you that question. Then something will come. I just forget it. I think I just record this here officially.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Good.
We can always catch up on that. We can speak about it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good.
Thank you, Sudha.
Now over to Vivek. Vivek Menon.
Again.
Hi, Sohail. I must tell you that it was great to listen to you, and you're truly an inspiration to a lot of us at Bryos. To come and put your story out there is not easy, and I know for someone like you, it definitely is not easy. So congratulations on doing that. Now that I've been nice to you, let me be myself. You clearly did not go to New College because the college opposite New College is not Anna Adish, it's Adish Vidyalaya. So you definitely didn't attend classes.
Same
All
thing.
right.
Same thing. Part of the same.
Yeah, part of the
group.
same group. But the school opposite my house is Anna Adish. Opposite
that's
New
because-
College is Adish Vidyalaya.
Yeah,
All right.
that's
Yeah.
reticular
All right.
activation.
Okay, guys, leave it.
And now to my main question. Please give me and please tell me what would you like to advise younger generation like me on how to handle the situation that we are going through right now as in service and hospitality industry. The key word being younger people like me. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's the same thing that I mentioned earlier. So what applies to me in the travel business applies to you in the events business as well. Look at skill sets that you can take advantage of as a person. Look at new business ideas, okay, and deep dive into your own present industry, which is events. See how you can do events, online. I mean, your industry well. So you have to really go, scrape at the bottom of the barrel and come up with something out of the box. That's one. Second is find alternative sources. Okay, you got great skill set. You're a good speaker. You're quick on your feet. So I'm sure you'll identify alternative career lines. And if everything else fails, become an actor.
Lose some weight and become an actor. Yeah. Yes, Nilavati, over to you.
Very happy evening to one and all. I have no questions, Bhaiya. I just want to say I'm really nice to hear your story, sir. And we are really proud and happy and also what to say, happy and really lucky to have you as our support director. And definitely under your able guidance as an individual and as a legend family, we will definitely reach the greater heights in the life. And my special thanks to Sunil Bhaiya. And it is not only like people, those who are really talented, and someone has to be there to bring out the talent and to give the platform to the people. Only then we will come to know and what is actually happened. And that is the based on their experience, we will learn so many things in our life. So thank you so much. And nice to know about you, sir. Thank you so much once again. Thank you, Bhaiya.
Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. And it's my privilege and honor to be your support director. And as I said earlier, I'll do my very best for you.
Okay, that's a very, very simple question, right? Please give some hair maintenance tips from then and keeping a ponytail and long hair to now?
To who?
General advice with people with hair.
Yeah, that is why I'm like this now. If I had to be with a pony, if I had to maintain the ponytail look, I would have done hair weaving and had hair over here. So just feel free. Let the air come directly on your head. Don't stress yourself in life with hair.
Okay. Okay. After so many years into BNI, what makes you attend so many trainings? Because I see you in almost every training, is the question.
The same question was asked by Chirag and Ajit at the second last training I attended before this. And I'll just repeat my answer over there. It's like small droplets go into making the large ocean. So and so at every training that you attend, you take back one droplet of learning. And that's how the ocean is formed. And the ocean cannot be created or made by any one of us. So you have to continue going for trainings.
Okay, guys, there's a link in the Padlet Ajit has put in. So please click on that, enter your learnings. What did you like in the story today? And this Padlet will be gifted to Sohail, right? So please, there's a Padlet link in there. So click on the link. Ajit has already entered in the Padlet link there. So click on that link and you will see a nice page opening up. And from there, you can go to the plus sign at the bottom right-hand side and start entering. Write your name, your category, your chapter name, and then you can enter in what did you learn, what did you like, something good about the session, something you learned, something you will implement. Please do that. Right. We'll move on to the next question. And Farzana Siraj is asking this question.
Sure.
What is your biggest strength and biggest weakness?
My biggest strength is my resilience, and my biggest weakness is my lack of expectations. I just do what I do because I love doing it.
Brilliant. Okay, Ajit, you actually put the Padlet link only for panelists. Can you just put the Padlet links to all? Ajit, please. It's gone only to panelists.
I'm just posting.
Yeah. Now the Padlet link is on. Thank you, Ashok ji. That means there's someone who is watching or someone. Ashok ji. Thank you, Ashok Jain. Thank you for asking that question. Thank you. Good. Okay. Maybe amazing question again from the last. Your own friend. You will know from the question who is it. What will be your advice to a BNI member who is yet to complete a year?
Yet to complete a year. Who can this be? Let me guess.
No, but this question is from Satta sir. Don't worry.
Okay. It is like being somebody who's newly into a marriage. Let me straight away compare it with that. When you come to BNI, it's like you're wedded for life. If you need results, you need to be like you're in a marriage. Be wedded for life, and keep doing what BNI asks you to do. That's my answer.
Okay, and more so, what will be the best advice to the old members? The next question. I think you answered it already.
No, I want to answer it.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to answer it and just tell them, stay chilled, be humble, don't throw your weight around. Okay, because everybody in the room is equal to you. Whenever you've joined, whenever they have joined, we're all equal at all stages. So everybody is watching you as well. So keep your weight in check.
Maybe that's why you lost the weight?
No. Absolutely. I always had it in check.
No,
this weight is different. This weight is different.
No, we know the answer. Okay, we know the answer, both of us. I've been support director, so I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Ashok ji, he wants to speak. Must be written a poem for you by now.
No, not a poem as yet. See, this actually you asked about his, trips and all that stuff. I've been on a trip organized by him to Bali, and there was some issue, not because of Sohail, it was because of the hotel on the other side, but the way Sohail handled it. Some of the members got a little upset, but the way Sohail handled it, even after we returned, it made sure that everybody was satisfied finally. So hats off to Sohail for that, because it could have been left a bad taste in the mouth, but he handled it perfectly, and everybody was satisfied in the end. So that is a very nice way he did that. Brilliant. I thought I should mention that things may happen in a trip, not in your hand, not in your control. How you handle it, that is the main thing which gives you the results.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Ashok ji. Thank you. Very kind of you.
Thank you. Dinesh ji. Dinesh Sethi.
Yeah, thank you, Sohail. I would like to tell something about Sohail. He is the person who is ready to support anytime. In fact, if I say something about Sohail, he is my advisor. For last 5-6 years, whatever I ask him, whatever I have any doubt, no, he is the first person to whom I contact Sohail how it is to be done. And he is always ready to support. So there is the great thing about Sohail. Thank you so much, Sohail, for supporting always. Yeah.
My pleasure, Dinesh ji. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. And then we have Farzana. Farzana?
1 second. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure, I can.
Okay. Hi, Sunil. Thank you. Good
Hi.
evening. And thank you for the opportunity. Sohail, you were awesome as usual. I have seen you very closely at different times, dealing in different situations. You have risen up like a phoenix, which I'm very, very proud of you. And I have seen you how you in leadership role, especially when you handle your power team and the way you stand tall and take up, you're a true leader because you take the brickbats and you pass on the bouquets to your teammates, and that is the sign of a true leader, which I've seen in you. Fantastic. Coming to your profession, I remember I went to Singapore to see a patient actually, and you guys had planned my trip. And when I was about to leave, my flight was at 12:30 in the night. I was supposed to go to the airport at 12:30 in the night, but in the evening, the hotel told me that, ma'am, you have to vacate the room. And I was really upset because where would I go suddenly, and I didn't want to pay for the room just for another 4 hours. So I called your office back from Singapore, and I don't know what magic they did. And suddenly they said, don't worry about it, ma'am, you can hang on. And I was, though I was irritated in the beginning, I was actually very happy because it just sorted out so well and they were so prompt. And I think that's what probably Ashok ji meant, that, every time everything doesn't have to go well, but all's well that ends well. So congrats, Sohail, once again.
Thank you, Farzana. It's always been a pleasure handling all your travel trips and looking forward to many more.
Good. Thank you. And I think Ashok Memani, why again he's raised the hand? I don't know. So maybe this time the poem is ready. Ashok ji.
No. The raised hand was not lowered. That's why you saw it again.
Okay, fine. So I'm muted.
Actually, I can say 2 lines. That the trips organized by Sohail, anybody else organizes, comparatively, it is very pale.
Sagarika, over to you, Sagarika. Sagarika, you're on. Sagarika, you want to speak? Okay, no. Okay, there's a question in the chat.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. When I have joined and I have attended my first MSP, and I was overwhelmed to be seeing Sohail, who was announced that that was his 6th, 7th, or 9th MSP. So someone has asked me what made him attend so many MSPs. So I have answered it in just 2 words. I come here to unlearn and learn, and the more we take, then we realize how less we know. The more we learn, then we realize how less it actually had made a big impact. I used to call him sir back then, Sohail sir. And one day when I have asked some small help for some VHT role, he told, yeah, I would surely help you, but on a condition, if you stop calling me sir, then I'll help you. So that's when I have dropped calling, dropped that sir. And now Sohail is a good buddy. That's a wonderful story, Sohail. So proud of you.
Thank you so much, Sagarika. Very, very kind of you to share all of that and refresh my memory. I'd forgotten about all of that.
Okay, there's a question in the chat box. And for the friends in the room, if you not click on the Padlet and started typing there, please do that. That'll be great on your part. Again, what was your feeling when you heard our region has crossed 1,000 members? Because you have seen the beginning of the region and to now.
I was over the moon, because we always set these targets and milestones and visions, and when they are achieved, they are meant to be achieved, and when they are achieved, you got to be over the moon, and it's no ordinary moment.
Thank you. Brilliant. So let's make it big. Thank you. Thank you. And yes, Vivek, you raised the hand. Okay, maybe one more question Vivek wants to share or something. Yeah, Vivek. Vivek, you raised the hand? No?
Unmute. All right. Oh, okay. Hi. Sohail, I quickly have two questions again. One is you're a strong believer of the fact that socials establish relationships in BNI members much better. Is this true? And the second, how do you manage to remain so humble in spite of all the heroics that you've done in BNI? Thank you.
Well, about the heroics, that's how I've programmed. I was wired that way from the one above and sent down. I have no explanation for that. And that's how I will always be. And socials is the, I would say, the lifeline of any chapter. It should never stop because that means your, the connection stops. So I'm completely for socials. Now, how you do your socials, where you do it, and all that is different. But socials are a lifeline for any chapter.
Right. Yes. And I'm very afraid of socials in Brios.
That's why I said what I said. How you do, what you do, where you do.
But last one was really good. Last one I enjoyed it. Right. Last one was brilliant. Right. Okay, good. Sunil Rajankar wants to speak.
Sure.
Must be the Punjabi food is coming your way.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
A new tagline for Sohail. Change it from taking you to all corners of the world without cutting corners to taking you over the moon.
Oh, nice. Sunil, I'd like to try that myself first. So I'll finish that. Once I've tried it and I like it, I'll recommend it for you.
Yeah, get in touch with Elon Musk.
Sure, I will. And, yeah.
Good, guys. Okay. So time is 8:25 and oh my God, Ashok Memani, you raised the hand. Are you sure? Okay.
This is just to add to what Sunil Rajankar said, because pandemic also, lockdown is taking you over the moon very soon.
Okay. I think let us have Ashok Memani as the last person, because if I'm going to call anybody else, Ashok ji will again come to say the last line. Okay, boys and girls. Oh, wow. There's one more question in the chat box. Out of so many things that you learned in BNI, what is your best learning?
My best learning is tradition and innovation, because that's where we are right now. I've been doing a traditional business all this while, and right now I'm in a situation where I need to innovate. So right now that is relevant for me. That's more relevant than anything else, because the rest I already know it.
Brilliant. Super. Well put. Thank you so much, Sohail. And Ajit, you want to share something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What I've seen in entire travel industry till date, an amazing person, Sohail ji. I interacted first time when he was on the head table in Brios, and I remember the synergy came, and we had actually introduced one award, which Sunil also was telling, why should you do that? I said, the kind of LT, the first time I've seen the process, the system, Ajit can be wrong, but Brios LT cannot be wrong. So that was for Sohail. So that's for you, Sohail.
Thank you, Ajit.
No, he fought and gave the award. I said, you started 1 year, you have to continue. I said, whether you continue or not, I think Sohail deserves this award. I said, okay, then go ahead. So yes, Sajay, that was a brilliant, amazing thing. I think the leadership team was just awesome.
Thank you, Sunil. Thank you, Ajit. Thank you so much.
One of the best leadership team I've ever seen. Right. Good. So I think there's something in the chat box. Yeah. Brilliant. Wow. Awesome. Thank you, Sachin. So guys, have you entered in the Padlet? If you're not, there's a link in the Padlet. Link is there in the chat box. Please do that and we will take it forward. And yes, we are looking for having more people coming soon. And maybe I have someone in the mind who's not from the region, but because today as Sohail was about to share his story, I just felt that, hey, I think we can have someone from out of the region, someone really brilliant who is, I've closely worked with that person. So maybe let me just check it up and get back to you. But if not, then we'll have so one more dynamic personality coming from the region. And yes, there's a link for the Chennai one. If you're using a mobile phone through the QR code, if you want to contribute to the social cost, please do that, right? And so, and Sohail, if you want to say anything before we close out.
Nothing really. I just want to repeat what I said. I just want to tell everybody, never give up. Life is never a bed of roses. Keep going, keep going, keep going, because nothing else matters, because you are the most important person in this world.
Brilliant. And thank you so much, Sohail. Thanks a lot for your time.
Most welcome, Sunil. Thank you for the opportunity to let me speak today.
I still remember the Audi, and when you and Raviji were sitting inside and you were like just playing with that whole car. It was just fun.
Please share the pictures with me because I don't have them. I did see them, but I don't seem to find them.
Oh, all the pictures must be available only with Ajit.
I'll contact Ajit for that.
I myself don't keep any pictures. I believe in living in the present now, and I don't have any pictures. I have everything here. So that's something which I've been believing and living by. So all the pictures I always pass it on to Ajit. We'll search it. That was some brilliant, amazing. You, me, Sata, Raviji, and a lot of them. Right. Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Sohail. It was fun, and keep rocking.
Thank you so much, Anil.
Yes, and I just want to say thank you so much for attending Bharat Daga's session and just jumping in here. It was just awesome. So kind of you, and for being there and being here and making impact on so many more lives.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward for legend entering a legends to make the legends a legend. Hello. Thank you. And Ajit, you can stop the Facebook recording and you can close it. And thank you, friends. Happy night. Have a great time. And those